Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. It's Thursday. It's December 15th. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and this will wrap our week up. No chart lesson tomorrow. I plan to trade probably Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's my plan at this point. Something could change, but at this point, I plan to trade Monday and Tuesday, and if so, I'll do a chart lesson Monday and Tuesday, and then that's probably going to be it through the end of the year. I'll probably take off the rest of the year. So just keep that in mind. Nice trend today, our trade today. It looked like we were going to have another trading range, and then we broke higher. And you still could trade this either way as a trading range. Earlier this morning, I was playing this a little lower, but as you see, we had most of our support right across here. And once we start going higher, you want to measure that and then look for a measured move, and that's exactly, perfect measured move. And we end up pushing out of that and getting a failed break higher. There's actually a trade up here that you might have considered. I'll go ahead and mark it. But with this two-tiered channel working up, which you really, this channel, you could get this here. It didn't really help you. Uh, I was looking for this to be further up here. It still works out here, but your better way to find this, in my opinion, was when we broke higher, the measured move. And you can see that's almost to the tick. But if you got it confirmed two ways, then you just, that really gives you more, um, that just gives you more evidence that that's probably a high spot. And it's a good ways away from the EMA too. A really aggressive trader might even short that right there with that bearish bar. I think most of you know my theory on um, trying to pick tops and bottoms, and if you try to do that, you're going to be a loser. Uh, but really, I ended up adjusting this a little bit, and you see it fits better in there the rest of the day. Um, but this was a little harder to find until later in the day. You could get it real early off these two swings, but it doesn't really help you much. Um, until it gets back up here. It might have helped you with this midline here, but by that time you've already made it up here anyway, so you can probably find it. Um, but once again, you didn't really need this pattern, although it does come in handy because once you get up here again, you're probably going to at least correct back to the midline and probably all the way back to the trend line. So uh, anyway, no matter how you saw it, I'm showing it to you both ways. I'm going to go through these trades pretty quickly. I've only got about 15 minutes. I've got another commitment this evening, so I got to get this wrapped up and get it loaded, and if I'm going to get it done today. So anyway, you had to be patient this morning. We're just kind of going sideways, and we had a little failed break lower. You never really get a higher low here until here, and then that's right off the support. So you might have considered that long. Uh, but I think you're better off to wait, and then you get another little higher low here, but you're just kind of going sideways there. Um, so I'm a little leery about entering either direction until it turns down and fails. And then now you've got a failed second entry short. You've bounced off this line down here twice, and you've got actually a higher low from the original bounce off that line. So I like going long there, because we've tested that a few times, and most likely once you've failed off the bottom, where are you going? You're going to try to go back to the top. We don't quite get there before it bounces again, and so now I'm really leery. You definitely don't want to be trying to get long or short in this right here, and you got to be real careful getting short right into that low right there. And that one may have worked. I'm not sure how many ticks are there. It looks like it's real close. I'm not going to count them, but that's why you want to be careful getting short there, because we're probably going back to the other side. And that's the main reason you want to look for longs here. This was real tempting, but it never broke above it. Notice there's two more bars, and they're all inside bars. They are making higher lows, which is a good clue, but I'm not going to risk that. But notice what happens. We push up, we pull. This is like a little breakout pullback from this double top here, but the main thing is it bounced off that trend line, and it looks like we're probably headed higher now, so I like that one. And then you get one more little pullback right before it goes higher. The only stipulation I got here is you got to have enough room to get out. So if you don't have enough room between here and here, I would mark this one green for you, and you just got to make sure you got enough room to get out. That's the bottom line. Um, and then it actually gives you a little breakout pullback along here, and again, it's right off the trend line. So, but the main reason I like this one is it's a trout. Notice the new low, first entry short, second entry short, and that's pretty much one leg up, pull back, and another measured leg up. This one's a little more risky. I generally don't like these trades because you fail more times than not on the breakout. In this case, it didn't. Uh, Pulls back, gives you a first entry, pulls back, gives you a second entry, and everything's still closing within that trend line. You're a good bit away from the EMA, but your measured move is up here, and it looks like we're headed right to that. If you had your trend line pulled up here, it's further up here. So they're both going to act like magnets pulling prices up there. And of course, it touches it. You get the confluence there, so you get confirmation from two different things. It works down. There's a lower high here, and it's a big bearish bar, but it's right into that trend line. I mean, right into the EMA, plus it is right into the trend channel line. So I think you're better off to see if you get that reversal pattern with the failed second entry long. That comes right here. That's not a very good signal bar. It doesn't matter, though, on that trap, that failed second entry long. And at this point, you figure we're coming back down to here, maybe back down to here. You would have got a scalp out of that, and that's it. But that's why, we don't try to get any more than 4 ticks out of it. And if we want to try to catch anything bigger, we wait on we use our runners. So, and with the channel this big, if I get an entry somewhere up here or somewhere down here, I'm probably going to use a runner. And once you figure out you got a 2-tiered channel working higher here, I'm going to use the runners there as well. So we get the little turn down here. You're really too much congestion and sideways there. We do have a break and a new low, and we kind of make that double bottom. So you might even consider going long there. I'm a little hesitant right into all that resistance right across there. But you might still take that trade. Better off to wait on the reversal, which comes here. And by that point, I'm not too crazy about it. It would have worked, but we've already come off the top, so I'm just afraid we may break above here and turn back down. But then we try to go lower 2 more times, so now you've pretty much tested this midline a couple more times, and this is really, you're making higher highs and higher lows, and that's a nice bullish bar. So go ahead and go long. These 2 bounces pretty much confirm your midline too, so that gives me more. That just gives me a stronger reason to believe that we're probably going back to the upper trend channel line again. And notice this nice move. You would have got a runner here. That's a nice move. We talked about that one a minute ago. It's really a double test. Notice we test that trend line, then we come back and test it 2 more times. That's pretty much evidence that, hey, if you saw this, it's probably correct. I'm not crazy about going short there, but there's no reason you can't if you want to be aggressive. You've got this channel working up, you get a break, and that's 2 legs up to a new high. You got this one working down, you get a break, and a couple of legs down to a new low. So it's all working out. There's also this one working up and a break and a couple of legs up. But I believe this all was part of the remainder of these 2 patterns. But you can draw them and they still play out. Even this one going up here. You can see that trend right there. You get a close outside, a couple of pushes up, and it reverses. So that gives you another reason to maybe think about going short there. But like always, you're better off to wait on that reversal pattern. And you get a nice one here. Look what happens. You get the move down. It goes right through the EMA. Tries to go lower again. It pulls. You get the first entry long, it pulls back. You get the second entry long, it fails right off those closes of that trend line. Go short right there, quick, easy move. And you would have had a runner here. You might have exited here. This one may be a little bit, oops, didn't mean to do that. Get my line right again. This one, I believe it's right here. It's holding pretty good until you get the overshoot, and then it's not long after that before you get a break. Maybe it's down here. Still works right there. You still come to the same conclusion, really. And maybe there's a midline. So maybe it's two-tiered. You still get the same result there, but it looks like it's two-tiered to me. But anyway, you move on down. You finally come back. You confirm that trend line again. Nice bearish bar, go short. It comes back again. You might have even considered here, but now you got 3 or 4 bars kind of stacking up. Actually, with that being back inside this line here and testing that a couple of different times, that one's. It's easier to see this stuff after the fact, obviously. So I'm still going to make it green because if you're looking at that at the hard right side of the chart, let me just show you. I mean, it looks sideways to me. And on that second entry short there, you would think that we probably would take on off. So I'll probably wait that one out and see what happens. And it does come back and gives you, that's a new high, first entry, second entry. So there's your trap, go short right there. And then it takes on off. So what will happen is when you're looking at this at the hard right side of your chart, you're scared you're going to miss a trade. And you jump in there, and that's when you get trapped. So you just got to sometimes say, hey, this just is not a perfect setup. I may miss a trade, but I'll be better off by waiting. And generally, you're going to get rewarded for waiting. You're not going to get trapped. You're going to watch the other people get trapped, and you're going to take advantage of it. But occasionally you're going to miss a trade. Simple as that. So anyway, you might even consider entering right here on that little tiny bar that makes a little 2-bar matching high. That may be kind of hard to see there. Let me back out a little more. So you might have liked that bar. There's no reason you couldn't even enter there. And again, it would have been a nice, easy trade. And then we bounce. We get the break here. And we pull out, we get a first entry long, we go lower. Even though this didn't break higher, or that little bitty bar right there, I'd probably risk that one because we're probably going to retest this low and test the trend line again. This probably should be green since it didn't break higher. It's real close. I could go either way with it. I like it. And you see it was a great move. We actually notice what happens here. It pushes through that midline, pulls back and tests it, and then goes lower. So that's proven to you that that's a valid line. That's the way support and resistance works. You usually test it on both sides, and if you push through it, you'll pull back and test it, and then it went on lower. And you get a big overshoot here. So no matter how you originally drew it, you still had an overshoot here. And then notice what happens. You get your trend line off these first couple, comes back and tests it. And that was a nice reversal. And that took you into the little bit of congestion right before the close. So this one, technically there's a low, first entry, pullback, second entry, but it never broke higher, and then you started getting all those matching highs. So that's the reason, and that's right into the trend line. So with that happening like that, I'm going to say wait, because you may push down one more time, but when it goes lower and fails again, it gives you this is a huge reversal bar. Go long there. And that pretty much does it for today. I feel like I rushed through that, but seemed like I had a chance to explain most of them fairly well. So I was able to spend a little more time than I thought I would. I'm right on time here, so I got to wrap it up though so I can get this uploaded. But hope you had a great week. No chart lesson tomorrow. I'll be back probably Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then no more chart lessons, and I probably won't trade the rest of the week. I'll take vacation. I may come into the office. I get bored after about 2 weeks usually. Sometime in there, everybody's busy and I'm just sitting around the house. I'm kind of a workaholic, so who knows? I may come into the office and just see what's happening, and if I do, I may post something on the website or put up a chart lesson or something. But probably won't see much from me until after January 1st. So, but anyway, I'll see you Monday most likely, and hope you have a good trading day tomorrow. And I'm out here for today. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.